What is up, guys? Hassan Malik back here again, and today we are going to be taking a look at the top 10 rarest Lego Spider-Man minifigs ever made. Recently, we've been taking a look at the rarest Lego Star Wars minifigs. We took a look at the rarest Jedi and also the rarest Clone Troopers. And now with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse officially out on digital, I thought it'd be a cool time to take a look at the Lego Spider Society and see just how rare some of these minifigs can get. Just like the other Lego set lists we've done so far, this one is going to be based off of the Bricklink sales over the last 6 months. It's a great way to see how much minifigs are valued at and what you could get if you decide to sell them. Also, we're going to be taking a look at every single variation of Spider-Man in this list, so not just Peter Parker, any variant of Spider-Man that we've seen in Lego so far. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. So at number 10, we have Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara. He was included in one set in 2019, which is set number 76114, Spider-Man Spider Crawler. This set originally retailed for $40, and currently this minifig retails for $59.51, with a max price going up to $99.95. Alright, so Spider-Man 2099 was always a cool looking Spider-Man and was really sought after by the community, especially Lego fans. But I think this minifig's value has shot up in recent months, especially with how large and important of a character he is in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and with how amazing that movie just was. Yes, this minifig isn't actually based on the one that we see in the movie, but it does look close enough, and it's the only Spider-Man 2099 that we've ever seen. For the minifig itself, it honestly could be done a lot better. I think if they redid this fig, it would have been really nice to get some arm printing there. Those blades that he has in the movie would have been really cool to see in the Lego form, but this one's not based on the movie, so that's okay. It does follow that trope of other superhero minifigs of having no leg printing, though. That's kind of something we see with Marvel and DC. A lot of these really important characters just come out with no leg printing, which is pretty odd, so that's a little unfortunate. It would have been nice for them to include something on his legs to give him some texture or something, just some red markings. It would have been cool to see. But either way, he's still a cool looking minifig, and the fact that he's only included in a $40 set makes him pretty accessible, and I'm sure that a lot of people already own this fig. I hope Lego makes another one soon, but if you don't already own a Spider-Man 2099, you might want to jump on this one quick, because I'm sure the value is going to keep going up and up. But that is going to do it for our number 10 spot. Let's go ahead and move on to number 9 here. We have the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 suit. This minifig was included in a whole bunch of sets in 2004 alongside Spider-Man 2 the movie. So the set numbers for these go between 4853 all the way to 4857. We have Spider-Man's Street Chase at $10, Doc Ock's Bank Robbery at $20, Spider-Man's Train Rescue at $30, Doc Ock's Hideout at $50, and also Doc Ock's Fusion Lab at $20. So honestly, it's not that rare of a minifig. It was included in so many sets, but the thing is, it is very old, so it's still really hard to get a hold of this fig, and because of that, the value and price of it goes up. I mean, this fig is almost 2 decades old, so it's pretty understandable. The current sale price for this goes for about $72.06, with a max sale price going all the way up to $123.29. So this is a fig that I'm sure a lot of the older Lego collectors watching this video probably own. Spider-Man was obviously huge when it first came out, and it was one of the only superhero sets that we had in Lego at the time, so a lot of people did end up picking up at least one of these sets. Now, we've seen this minifig make a return in 2023 with that new No Way Home set. We got to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in that set as well. So if you want to get that suit again, you technically can in that set, but this is like the OG one. It definitely looks different, and the printing was different and everything. And as cool as the new one is, this one just holds a special place in so many of our hearts just due to nostalgia. So yeah, at $70, it's not the most expensive fig we're going to take a look at, but it's still definitely up there. All right, so moving on here, we have the Scarlet Spider, aka Ben Reilly. He was included in one set in 2016, which is set number 76057, the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle. This set originally retailed for $100, and currently this minifigure sells for $75.01, with a max sale price going up to $106.97. Now, Ben Reilly, to me, has always visually been a very cool looking Spider-Man. I never really got too much into his character in the comics or TV shows or anything. The cloned Spider-Man was never that interesting of a concept to me, so unfortunately I don't know too much about the character, although I'm sure he's really cool. But he was also in the Across the Spider-Verse movie, and I really liked him in that. He was really funny with Andy Samberg voicing him. He wasn't in it much, but I think those short moments he was there were really great. So seeing him in Lego form here, and this being the only version that we've seen in Lego form, makes him really cool and desirable to a lot of collectors. With how successful these Spider-Verse movies have been in recent years, Lego might remake this minifig, but for now, this is currently the only way that you can get Scarlet Spider or Ben Reilly in Lego form. And just like I mentioned with Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara, I think the value of this minifig is going to go up and up as we get closer to that third movie. But that really depends if Lego makes that to base on the upcoming film. I would love to see that because it's definitely one of the best superhero movies I've seen in years. Moving on here, we have the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit again, only this one is based off of Spider-Man 1. So this minifig came out in 2002 originally in 3 sets. And this one's a little bit strange because it was actually released across 2 separate themes here. The first one is the Lego Studios theme, which actually had a set based on the Spider-Man 1 movie. So the first set here is set number 1376, Spider-Man Action Studio. This was released in 2002 and retailed for $30. Then the other 2 sets here are from the Spider-Man theme, which is set number 4851, Spider-Man and Green Goblin, The Origins. This came out in 2003 and it retailed for $30. And also 4852, Spider-Man vs. Green Goblin, The Final Showdown. This came out in 2003 as well and it retailed for $50. And strangely enough, we actually have 2 variations of this fig, one in the studio set and one in the regular set, but the fig is the exact same. It just has one extra piece, which is a red brace. And the prices actually vary from fig to fig here. So with the brace, it retails for $136.34, and without the brace, it's $92.97. And we've seen this minifig go up to a max price of $136.34. So in reality, this is the exact same fig here. It's interesting to see that the Spider-Man 1 suit is actually more expensive than the Spider-Man 2, but it actually kind of makes sense considering it was included in less sets, and it's also 2 years older. So it's a pretty cool looking fig, and I'm sure this is one that a lot of you guys also own as well, especially you older collectors. And currently, if you want, you can get pretty much $100 for this fig if you want to get rid of it. So moving on to number 6 here, we have another Spider-Man 1 minifig. This is Spider-Man in his homemade suit, also known as the balaclava face. Now this minifig actually has a little bit of a weird story. It was officially only included in 1 set, but it's technically been included in 2. And I'll go ahead and explain what I'm talking about here. So it was included in 1 set in 2003, which we already know, which is set number 4850, Spider-Man's First Chase. This retailed for $20 and was based on the first Spider-Man movie. This is the set that I'm sure all you guys recognize this minifig from, but the thing is, it was also included in another set 1 year earlier in 2002, and this was also part of that Studios theme. This was set number 1375. It was called the Wrestling Scene, but the one thing is this set was never actually released. It's kind of hard to find information about this set, especially with how old it is, but this set was never actually officially released. But I'm sure if one of you guys actually have your hands on it somehow, you could probably get a lot more money for that set sealed up if you still have it. So technically this minifig was included in 1 set in 2002, but because the set was never released, his official release date is 2003. Either way though, this minifig currently sells for $138.20 with a max sale price going up to $200.54. So it's quite a bit more expensive than the last Spider-Man 1 and 2 suits that we've taken a look at, and that makes sense because it's only included in 1 set, whereas the other minifigs were included in multiple. So that makes this a little bit more rare and a little bit harder to get your hands on. Alright guys, we are now halfway through our list. So at number 5, we have the Insomniac Spider-Man. Now, I want you guys to take note of this because this is where the prices get really absurd. So this minifig was included in 1 set, which wasn't actually a set in 2019. It was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so it doesn't actually have a retail price. But currently, this minifig sells for, get this, $1,442.99. And we've seen a max sale price go all the way up to $1,548.87. So yeah, the last minifig that we looked at was around $138, and we shot all the way up to $1,400. So quite a big jump there, but it's very understandable because this is a SDCC exclusive, which means there weren't that many made and they're just given out at the convention alone. So because of that, it makes this minifig very, very rare. Now, aside from the rarity of the minifig, this is actually one of my favorite Lego Spider-Man minifigs ever made, and that's because it's based on what might be my favorite Spider-Man suit ever made, which is the Insomniac Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man PS4. Now, because you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you're a fan of Spider-Man, as am I, and with all these Spider-Man stories we've seen over the last like 5 decades, from all the comics, the movies, TV shows, video games, everything else, my favorite variation of Spider-Man is the Spider-Man that we got to see in Spider-Man PS4. And I know that's a very hot take, but the thing is, I've always liked that older variation of Peter when he's out of college and dealing with adult problems and everything, and I really resonated with the Peter that we got to see in that game. And yeah, I've liked it more than any Spider-Man movie I've seen, any Spider-Man comic I've read. I've just really been attached to that game, and because of that, this suit is one of my favorite Spider-Man suits I've ever seen. I've always liked the look of it, and I have just always loved everything about this game, and I really can't wait to see that sequel later this year. So taking a look at the minifig here, I think LEGO did a great job of recreating it in Lego form. So this is probably my favorite Lego Spider-Man minifig ever, and unfortunately because it costs $1,400, I will probably never actually get to have it in my hands. But that is okay. For any of you guys that own this minifig, congratulations to you. I hope you enjoy it, and also, would you part with this thing for $1,400? Alright, moving on to number 4 here, we have Spider-Man in his black symbiote suit. This one is based off the comics and not the movie, and it was released in 2012 with the start of the Lego Marvel Superheroes theme in one set, if you want to call it that. It's not an actual set. It was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So because of that, it doesn't actually have a price, but currently it sells for a whopping $1,500, and the max sale price is also $1,500, meaning we haven't seen many of these sets sold in the last 6 months. So that just makes it super rare, because that means that not many people have this minifig or are willing to sell it. Now, the minifig itself here is pretty plain, as it should be. The black Spider-Man suit from the comics doesn't have all that much detail on it. I think this is one of the few times where it's okay that LEGO didn't include any leg printing or arm printing or anything like that. It's just the regular black Spider-Man suit here with the very large white eyes and the white Spider-Man logo. Now, on top of being exclusive to a convention, it was actually given out in a raffle as well, so that means there's not many of them out there. And given how old it is as well, it's over a decade old, this is quite an expensive minifig. I feel like LEGO will remake this minifig at one point. It's just far too iconic to not have it in LEGO form again. We've seen other variations of the Venom Spider-Man suit, but not this one specifically recreated in LEGO minifig form. But I do think we'll see it sometime soon. So if you're really desperate on getting your hands on a black suit Spider-Man, I wouldn't fork out $1,500 just yet. I'd give it a couple years. I feel like LEGO will give us one soon. But that'll do it for our number 4 spot. We are now at our top 3 rarest Lego Spider-Man minifigs ever made. So at number 3, we have another Insomniac suit. This is the classic suit from the Miles Morales PS5 Spider-Man video game. This was released in 2020 alongside the Miles Morales game. It actually has an interesting story here. So unlike the SDCC exclusive figures, this was actually given out in a sweepstakes because we didn't have any conventions going on during the pandemic. So if you actually beat Spider-Man PS4, the video game, between the dates of October 16th to the 29th of 2020, you were entered into the sweepstakes for a shot at winning one of these minifigs. I'm not sure the total amount that were made, but clearly not that many were, because currently there isn't actually much detail on how much this minifig sells for on Bricklink. There haven't been any sold in the last 6 months. But I decided to take the average price of the ones that are selling on Bricklink at the moment, and that average price is $4,373.99, with the minimum price here being $2,794.99, and also the max price going all the way up to $6,753.82. So yeah, a very, very expensive Lego minifig. The cheapest you're gonna find this is $2,800, which is absolutely ridiculous for a little bit of plastic and some printing. But man, is it a good looking minifig. This is probably my favorite Miles minifig that we've ever seen in Lego form. And that's also because it's based on the Insomniac Spider-Man as well. You guys already know how big of a fan I am of the Insomniac Spider-Man suit, so seeing Miles' suit here in Insomniac form is also really cool. And I think LEGO did a great job with some of their printing here. I'm so glad they didn't just leave it with regular black legs. They easily could have done that for this minifig, but they actually decided to go above and beyond and include a whole bunch of different little details in printing for his toes there, for his knees. It looks very good. It's really interesting to see just how rare this minifig is, especially because it was supposed to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive fig, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, it was given out in a more competitive fashion. And honestly, I like that a lot more. I hope LEGO do more of this for other promotions on other sets and minifigs. I think it's just far more accessible to more people, and although I am probably never going to get my hands on this fig, it's still nice to know that you have a shot of getting it just by beating the video game, which is not too hard to do. We've seen both him and Peter in their Insomniac suits in Lego form, so hopefully LEGO will actually give us a set based on the video game at some point. That would be my absolute dream come true. But until then, we'll just have to fork out thousands and thousands of dollars for these characters. Alright guys, so at number 2 here we have Spider-Woman. She was released in 2013 at San Diego Comic-Con, and currently this minifig sells for a whopping $5,633.83, with a max price going all the way up to $7,432.86. I don't know too much about Spider-Woman. I haven't read too many of her comics or anything like that. I'm not even sure what variation of Spider-Woman this is based off of, but it's still a cool looking minifig. It looks very comic booky. I like the bright yellow and red color scheme here. It looks very good. And overall, it's not the most mind-blowing minifig or anything. The prints aren't anything special or anything crazy, but I think generally it gets a look across, and it does look like the comic book Spider-Woman. Comic-Con exclusive minifigs are always really expensive, and this one is no different. So it's nice to see that we get a couple non-Peter Parker variations of Spider-Man on this list. Okay guys, here we go. So at number 1, the rarest Lego Spider-Man minifig is the Amazing Spider-Man from 2013. Yup, this is actually the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man movie series. He was released during San Diego Comic-Con 2013. It was exclusive to that event, and because of that, this minifig is very rare. Currently, this minifig sells, for get ready till you hear this, $8,774.74. And with the current postings on Bricklink, the minimum price that I've been seeing for this is 15 grand, with a max price going all the way up to $21,414.56. This is just absolutely absurdly expensive for a singular Lego minifig. Yes, it's rare. Yes, it's kind of old. And it's also based on a very beloved Spider-Man, that being Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I know those movies had a lot of hate for them when they first came out, but now we've obviously seen them kind of do a 180, and everyone really loves that Spider-Man. Either way though, man, almost 10 grand for one minifig. Ridiculous, right? Anyways, forgetting the price for a moment, let's go ahead and take a look at the minifig here. It's a very good looking, very detailed fig. Now for 10 grand, I think this minifig could have used some arm printing and also some dual molded legs as well, but the printing that it has on this minifig is very, very detailed. We got some up close shots here, so looking at the eyes, it has that textured pattern going from silver to white. That looks very accurate to how it looks in the movie. And on top of that, on the torso and legs here, you have the dark blue with those little dots of light blue as well, giving that nice textured look. It's a great looking minifig. I actually prefer it to the new Amazing Spider-Man suit that we got with the No Way Home set. It's great that us fans can get Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man minifig in Lego form easily if we want to, but man, this one just looks so much better. It's definitely got to be up there as one of my favorite Lego Spider-Man minifigs ever made, and given the way that was released as a convention exclusive, and on top of that being based on a very beloved live-action Spider-Man, it starts to make sense why this Spider-Man is the rarest Lego Spider-Man ever made. Now, is it close to $10,000 level of rare? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But there it is, guys. There is your look at the top 10 rarest Lego Spider-Man minifigs ever made. Do you guys own any of these minifigs? Are you guys feeling a little bit more wealthy at this moment? Whatever you guys are thinking, anything and everything, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. So if you guys enjoyed watching, make sure to leave a like on the video. Also consider subscribing for tons of more Lego content just like this. But that is pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. As usual, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.